In North Africa's Maghreb region, Morocco is the country with the greatest western extent. Its land boundaries with Algeria to the east and the disputed territory of Western Sahara to the south overlook the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. The Spanish colonies of Ceuta, Melilla, and Peón de Vélez de la Gomera, as well as a number of smaller Spanish-controlled islands off its coast, are also claimed by Morocco. Islam is the official religion, while Arabic and Berber are the official languages. The Moroccan Arabic dialect and French are also commonly used. A lively fusion of Berber, Arab, and European civilizations makes up Moroccan identity and culture. Its major city is Casablanca, while Rabat serves as its capital. Morocco, the historic homeland of the indigenous peoples who are now referred to as Berbers, self-named Amazighan, singular, Amazigh, has experienced substantial migration and has long been the site of urban areas that were first inhabited by non-natives. The area was subsequently the westernmost province of the Roman Empire and was governed by Carthage from an early period. The larger region of North Africa became known as the Maghreb, Arabic, the West, after the Arab conquest in the late 7th century CE, when the bulk of its inhabitants embraced Islam. The Almoravids, the first native Amazigh dynasty of North Africa, took control of an empire that stretched from Andalusian, southern Spain to sections of sub-Saharan Africa in the 11th century. Subsequent Moroccan kingdoms benefited from political dominance that went beyond the coastal areas. Although early attempts by Europeans to settle permanently in Morocco were largely unsuccessful, the nation later became the focus of great power politics in the 19th century. Morocco lost its independence in 1956, but was designated a protectorate of France in 1912. Presently, North Africa's sole monarchy is this one. Even though the country is fast developing and has a rising level of living, it nonetheless maintains a large portion of its historic buildings and even more of its long-standing traditions. Casablanca, a significant port on the Atlantic Ocean and Morocco's largest city, is also its industrial and financial hub. A short distance to the north, on the Atlantic coast, is where Rabat, the capital, is located. Other port cities include Agadir on the Atlantic, Al Hoceima on the Mediterranean Sea, and Tangier on the Strait of Gibraltar. The Souks, or open-air markets, in the city of Fez are reputed to be among the best in all of North Africa. Morocco is scenic and fertile, meriting the praise of a native son who traveled during the Middle Ages and declared that it is the best of countries, for in it fruits are abundant, and running water and nourishing food are never depleted. Moroccan territory is bordered to the east and southeast by Algeria, to the south by Western Sahara, to the west by the Atlantic Ocean, and to the north by the Mediterranean Sea. It is the only nation in Africa with coastlines that are exposed to both the Atlantic and Mediterranean seas. Its area is slightly bigger than the state of California in the United States, excluding Moroccan-controlled territory in the Western Sahara. Ceuta and Melilla, two diminutive Spanish outposts, are located on the nation's northern coast. About 2,600 feet, 800 meters, above sea level, on average, is the average elevation of the majority of Morocco. Eastern Morocco and Atlantic Morocco are separated by two mountain ranges. The Atlas Mountains run through the center, while the Rif Mountains in the north provide a buffer along the Mediterranean coast. The confined Taza Gap in the northeast and roads that take more ancient, established routes unite the two regions of the nation. Between 65 and 2.6 million years ago, during the Paleogene and Neogene eras, material that had accumulated in the Tethys Sea, which at the time surrounded Africa's northern coast, was folded and elevated to form the Atlas and Rif ranges. Geologically, Africa was only separated from the Iberian Peninsula of Europe by mountain chains after the Neogene period, and the Rif Mountains are a component of these mountain chains, i.e., during the past 2.6 million years. The small Mediterranean coastal plain gives way suddenly to the crescent-shaped range. Most of the limestone peaks in the Rif Mountains are higher than 4,900 feet, 1,500 meters, and Mount Titerine is the highest at 8,058 feet, 2,456 meters. Morocco instantly stimulates the senses. You squint your eyes in amazement at its sun-drenched coasts, breathtaking Atlas Mountains, and wind-whipped Sahara. Your nostrils are filled with spiciness as you enter the busy souk. A spring in your step is also provided by street musicians. Every explorer will find something special here. The Jima LFNA in Marrakesh is a must-see. The Jima LFNA Square is a beautiful maze of winding lanes, food stalls, and souks selling mountains of spices, lamps, jewelry, and hand-woven fabrics in the center of Marrakesh's Medina. This enormous square was built when the Almoravids established red-hued Marrakesh in 1062, and you can sense the pulse of the city in its fragrant alleyways. You can even practice your best bartering techniques here. As the sun sets, fortune tellers, snake charmers, musicians, belly dancers, and magicians come and create an entrancing environment. Local traders and terraces offering mint tea are thriving here during the day. Morocco is one of the most diversified nations in the world. One of our favorite Moroccan facts is that the country's numerous ethnic groups add to its uniqueness. Its two main ethnic groups are Arabs, who conquered Morocco in 705 and brought Islam there, and Berbers, who are native to northwestern Africa. However, the existing culture, its people, languages, foods, artwork, architecture, and clothes are influenced by historical control by the Spanish, Romans, French, and Jewish exiles. Everywhere you look there is incredible architecture, from riads to mosques. Everywhere you look, you see eye-catching architecture, from recognizable mosques to vibrant street corners. Islamic and Hispano-Moorish patterns can be seen according to Morocco's varied past. On palaces, fountains, kasbahs, ancient forts, riads, shaded outdoor spaces at homes, ceramics, madrasas, Islamic teaching institutions, and ceramic tiles, expect complex patterns. Visit the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca, which is the second largest operating mosque in Africa and a stunning example of Moorish architecture, before you depart. There are no cars in Fez Medina. It would be silly of you to skip northeastern Morocco and its cultural hub, Fez. You may explore almost 10,000 passageways inside its imposing 10-mile-long walls, which are too tight for cars but just large enough for chariots to transport handmade items to souks. Visit a madrasa and gaze at the building's design. On Trafalgar's tour of Spain, Morocco, and Portugal, you may also reserve a seat at an authentic riad for an Arabian meal with live music and belly dancing. The Sahara Desert is where you can stand. The portion of the Sahara Desert in Morocco is breathtaking. In the southeast, miles-long, wind-tossed sand dunes extend into an impossibly far distance. Time has stopped. The only sounds are a camel on a strolling tour making soft footfall. And you might be the next, that's true. The souks will win your affection. A souk is a unique shopping experience, but it might take newcomers a while to get used to it. A world of antiques, carpets, spices, trinkets, Aladdin-like lamps, and other local goods is hidden inside a labyrinth of vibrantly painted small passageways. Previously, local traders would pass through this. However, the pleasure is now all yours, including the mandatory negotiating to secure a reasonable price. Moroccan cuisine is excellent and diversified. Moroccan cuisine has a unique ability to distort perception. There are a variety of cuisine here with Arabic, Berber, Mediterranean, Andalusian, and European influences, so there's certain to be one that calls your name. We suggest consuming regional tagine, taktuka, a tomato, olive oil, paprika, pepper, and parsley salad, and local couscous, slow-cooked lamb stew bubbling with a tomato-like sauce and spices. Here's where you can locate Okakangdon, the highest ski resort in Africa. One of the most unexpected things about Morocco is this. Skiing may not come to mind while thinking of Africa. You will now, though, as the Okakangdon ski resort is located around 80 kilometers from Marrakesh in the snow-covered Atlas Mountains at a height of 2,600 meters. It climbs up to 3,200 m at its highest peak, Jebel Adder, offering skiers of all skill levels picture-perfect slopes that are surrounded by the enormous mountains and warmed by the African sun. Morocco is fortunate to have lovely beaches. Morocco's 1930-kilometer coastline is dotted with some of the nicest beaches in the world because it borders both the Atlantic and Mediterranean seas. These pristine white sands, washed by calm waves, provide the ideal respite from the busy city centers. Our suggestion is Essaouira, a picture-perfect resort town where you may spend a day surfing, lounging in the sun, or exploring the Medina. That was for today. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel.